I think that was one of the craziest fight nights we have had in recent memory. You not only had two knockout of the year contenders, but the fights the whole way through the night were absolutely exciting. Great matchups, topped off with the final fight, the main event, a really, really impactful, meaningful fight in the bantamweight division, one of the most exciting divisions in the UFC right now. And Petr Yan reminds everyone, I'm still here. His performance was a really, really special one because Deiveson Figueiredo, a former champion at 125, someone who has a lot of steam and a lot of momentum in this new weight class, Petr Yan was able to dictate the terms of that fight. His fight IQ really, really shone through, able to dictate the range, really, really good anti-wrestling in there. And like I said, for him to have been the champion in this division already and to have now put together two really, really good wins, he's still here. And I don't know if he ever lost it. His 3 losses in a row, 2 split decisions and a loss unanimously, all to the last 3 former champions of this division. So, yeah, he's right there still. And I think he really, really reminded everyone of that. So, yeah, in that main event, Petr Yan gets past dangerous and hungry Deiveson Figueiredo. Deiveson, as big as he is for 125 and as much as we've seen that power carry up to bantamweight, he just looked a little bit outsized in there. The physicality from Yan was a bit of a factor, and Yan isn't necessarily like one of the biggest guys in this division. He's a good sized bantamweight, really, really strong, good frame for this division, but there are bigger bantamweights out there. I think it was Petr Yan's veteran ability. We saw him dropping him multiple times on the feet. How patient he is in the stand-up, how technical his Muay Thai is, the reads, the baits he's able to get out of you. It's a thing of beauty. And to do that to Deiveson Figueiredo, who, has been hittable in the past, but the guy is formidable on the feet. And like I said, has a lot of power himself. Figueiredo had some really good positions in that first round, But Petr Yan was able to turn the tables. And like I said, his grappling, his scrambles, his anti-wrestling in this fight, really, really hard to take down. He has great takedown defense. We saw that in his fight with Merab, Merab shot 50 times, and I think Yan defended 40 of them. The guy has great takedown defense. Winning in this big profile matchup now, 2 wins in a row. I don't know if that's enough for the title shot necessarily when you have someone like Umar Nurmagomedov there, but he's fighting Song Yadong coming up. So, they can make that Merab rematch, but that was a pretty dominating fight for Merab, pretty one-sided. So I don't know if they're necessarily going to do that. Maybe Yan needs one more win. I would love to see him and Umar. What a fight. What an absolutely crazy fight that would be. With Yan scrambling, anti-wrestling, how technical he is on the feet, his power, his confidence in his stand-up. I think it'd be a really, really intriguing matchup. Sign me up for that one. If Umar can get through Song Yadong, I would love to see that fight next. Yeah, at the top of bantamweight is really interesting. You got a good claim to make for the title shot, So really interesting to see how that's all going to work out and who Merab is going to be standing across from next. Like I said, really, really great main event. Petr Yan shows his abilities. Still, the guy's only 31. He's had a really long career in the UFC, been the champion as well, like I said. But I don't think he ever lost it. Yes, he lost 3 in a row. Those were 2 champions of this division. The guy's only ever lost coin flips to the best. He really reinstates himself as a true top contender in this division after putting together 2 really good wins now back to back. Love watching Petr Yan, no mercy. Cannot wait to see what he gets up to next. Yeah, let me know what you guys thought of that main event because, like I said, what Petr Yan was able to do, his fight IQ, just his presence in there, it was really, really special to watch. And even though he won all 5 rounds on the cards, it was a really competitive fight throughout. Like I said, the rest of this card was absolute fireworks. Muslim Salikov with a wheel kick out of nowhere. Wow. I actually I had a little bit of biscuits on Song Kanan, so that one was pretty brutal to watch. But Muslim Salikov, the guy, even though his chin's gone, he's 40 years old, 41. He is a crazy stand-up fighter, the king of Kung Fu. Wow, those wheel kicks, it's like his signature move. That was, up there with one of the most beautifully executed wheel kick KOs in UFC history. And I believe he has 2 of them now. That is nuts. That guy, once he spins, he disguises it so well. He was doing a great job of touching that body of Song Kanan, spinning to the body, and you saw how he chambered that wheel kick. You could not tell until the last second whether it was going high or low. Song Kanan guessed wrong, and it connected beautifully. If you guys haven't seen that, go back and watch that one, because that could be the KO of the year. Kong Wang, she gets smoked. She was looking really good out there, I think the biggest favorite on the card. An 8-1 favorite in women's MMA is absolutely nuts. And you see what happens. She gets clubbed and subbed. That was really interesting. The hype dies so quickly. It's really interesting to see a prospect come in, have one or two great performances. The odds are boosted in their favor. And guys, this is still a fight. Anything can happen. Like Lorosenko said, this is a game that's fought on a razor's edge. You see that, and the 8-1 dog comes through with the club and sub finish. Really, really impressive. Yeah, unfortunately, that was a real parlay buster, I'm sure. Never bet on women's MMA. Carlos Ulberg doing what he needed to do. He was just a step ahead of Volkan the whole time. He was cleaner on the feet. He was just spamming that check hook. I thought Volkan was going to start to pick up on that, loop those shots a bit more, come through with the straight right hand, beat the hook, but Ulberg is just so fast, so technical. The kicks, the jabs, the distance management, how he's able to keep up that movement for 15 minutes, getting in on him into that range where Volkan needs to be to hurt Ulberg was brutal. You saw his nose afterwards, the guy was just getting peppered all night long, and Ulberg picks up 15 good minutes against a really experienced opponent, which will give him a lot of confidence, I think, moving forward, because he had 2 cancelled fights coming into this one, and they were against high-quality opposition, Jamal Hill and then Anthony Smith. So having a win like this over Volkan, someone who's challenged for the title, like I said, very experienced, been around a long time, I think it's going to set him up for really interesting next matchup. And like I said, the confidence is going to be there where it needs to be for Carlos Ulberg after a fight like this. Ming Yang Zhang, Chinese light heavyweight. Wow, he gets this beautiful step-in elbow, meets Aussie Diaz as he comes into it, and brutally puts him away. The Chinese fighters showed up and showed out tonight, guys. That female head kick on the prelims, that road to the UFC final, what is that female's name? Let me find that. Ming Shi. She may have locked up the best female KO ever. The cleanest women's head kick I've ever seen. Shin to the dome. The way she set that up with that little stutter step down. Boom, head kick. That was beautiful. And like I said, guys, the fights, the finishes we had on this card, this outperformed a lot of pay-per-views this year in terms of entertainment and excitement. The quality wasn't there name value-wise coming into this card. But what we got, it delivered tenfold. The finishes on this were beautiful. Honestly, we had 3 or 4 knockout of the year contenders. How often can you say that about one card? Very, very privileged to watch. The energy was high in Macau. All of the Chinese guys, you could feel that, wanted to put on a show for their home people. So really interesting timing on the event as well. Saturday night here in Australia for us, which, I'm glad that we have the Sunday during the days. I like watching the UFC during the day. I was struggling to stay up for that main event. Nonetheless, what a card. What a card. Let me know what you guys thought. There was so many exciting fights, so many exciting finishes. Thank you so much for joining me. If you could like, comment, and subscribe, I would really, really appreciate that. and we will chat soon.